Hello, this is Tammy Roby Show back with Samantha from Samantha Heals LA. How are you doing today, Samantha?
Oh, I'm doing really, really well. I know I sound like I'm on repeat, but it's always a pleasure to have these conversations because it's just like, two mates catching up.
Absolutely. I love our conversations. In the last conversation that we had, you were talking about, you made a point that really struck me where you said that some of your clients are ready to hear more and some are not. And I wanted to touch base a little bit on that and kind of talk about how energy work and coaching to help someone process the energy a little bit better can work together. And what are your thoughts on that?
I love that question and I relate to it 100% because I have seen both sides of that. I've been working with some of like the most gifted healers on the planet, but they're at such a high level that when they actually clear things from the energetic body, they are so advanced to be able to clear so much emotional stuff and see it with their own eyes and clear it out of the body, and it just seems to shift. But then there's a lot of other people, where me included, where we can shift things, we get messages to pass on to the client, and it just I've cleared whatever the energy clearing happens. It has to happen. If I set an intention to clear it, blockages, energy, there can be no other way. That energy is cleared. But the lag time, a lot of the time for the brain to process, doesn't always happen at the same time. Even with the physical healing, it takes time. You're not going to just do it. It's not going to be a magic pill. It's not going to be like one pill and you're flying. I mean, it can be, but really it is a journey. It's a whole unpeeling. And that's physically and emotionally. You've got to go through this. You've got to, it's a journey. I've said the J word, but it is really a journey. And then if you're stuck with the mindset, you can clear the body. And I think I used this on my first video, where the whole energetic body is cleared, but the mind is still carrying on some level all of that old baggage. So at some point, you'll kind of, it's like this as opposed to really connecting like this. And so the healers I've worked with, some, like I said, I've just done the energetic work and it's just not been enough. But for the last sort of year, I have been working with a healer who also does the life coaching, or just more kind of mind coaching, so that everything just then fits like that. But this was so important, like so important. I wanted to kind of emphasize that when you set intentions, things are cleared. They really, really are. I am the example of that. If you've listened to my first story, it's insane, but you needed the mental coaching, um, because and it was hard. I'm not going to lie. It's even now it's difficult to talk about because it is so hard. There's so much resistance. But then the more you clear this, the more the body will start listening. So, I mean, I don't have that. I'm not trained as a life coach. The messages and the intuition that comes through are from my guides. And so, but then I can always refer people to clients, to other people, if they are kind of really struggling and I can't get through to them. But then that's where that's your expertise, right? That's where which is one of your selling points, which you do so well. So I think for the most part, the energetic work works depending on what the issue is. But there are times when they do need that life coaching as well, just to get the body back like that. But then I think you're probably more equipped to talk about that. And so perhaps maybe you just want to do that now and let people know what you found, because you've seen it from both sides too.
Sure, I'd love to talk about it a little bit. I when I first started, I actually didn't think I needed the coaching piece until I actually started taking the training for it, and I saw how much it helped me shift my beliefs and my thought patterns so that I could continue to release more and more emotion. So what you're saying is absolutely true. When there is an intention and you clear whatever chakra is blocked and you release that, after you release that, it brings up emotions, thoughts, feelings that were blocked, and now they're coming to the surface. And if you don't take the time to process those and figure out why you feel that way, and is this belief true? Is this belief holding me back? You're going to block those chakras again much, much quicker. And as you process through and you release those emotions, you can continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper in the energetic clearings that you're doing. So hands down, I started out with the energetic healing, and I feel like that just got me to the point where I was then ready to start dealing with the emotional pieces. It made me strong enough that I could deal with the emotional pieces. And now when I do get the energetic clearings, I can go so much deeper, and I feel so I feel like a new person. I feel like I have been reborn. I think you and I have had conversations where we've had some struggles that we've had to overcome, and it feels like that person is gone forever now.
100%. It's like I can't even relate to the person even 6 months. Even if I force myself, I can't mentally.
Mhm.
I don't recognize that person. But what is the work that we did the training, we did the energetic training together, but what is it that you do?
So it's called EME, and what that really stands for is emotion, mind, and energy. And I help clients align their emotions, their mind, and their energy just to boil it down into its simplest piece is I help people identify some core beliefs that may be holding them back. And a lot of times that's what comes up when you have energetic clearings. You don't realize it because they're unconscious to you, but as I talk to you and find out more about you, they become very obvious to me. So I help you identify them and then shift those beliefs into something that is beneficial to your life and will allow you to move forward and do the things that you've always dreamed about doing, or the things that you've been scared of, or that you didn't think you were worthy of doing. And once you shift the thoughts and the patterns associated with them, sky's the limit.
Oh, I love that. I really love that, Tammy. What's so interesting is like when I'm doing a session, my guides are talking to me, but clearly, I mean, they can't go into depth like they're doing
Right.
with the work you do. I mean, I'm so limited and I can only, they're giving me like these short words. So on some level I am doing it, but there is really no substitute either for the work that you do. And where can people actually just find out about you? Or
They can reach out to me on, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, Tammy Roby Show. And then also you can reach out to me on my website, www.tammyrobyshow.com. There's lots of information to give you a little bit more idea of what a session would look like. And then also you can schedule a 15-minute introductory session with me. So that way, I can give you a little bit more information and see if you would be a good fit to do some of the coaching.
yeah, and I'll put your details under the video as well.
Beautiful.
For that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so have you seen people that should do the coaching and don't, and how does that affect them? Have you seen that firsthand for yourself?
I would say just like maybe one or two, like somebody that a few people have had issues like maybe for like 50 years, 60 years, and nothing is getting through. I'd say 99% of the time, the work I do is so powerful that, you know, again, I'm going to say the word with these intentions about, you know, getting into those emotional issues is I can release, and it's easy. I'll get the messages, I'll get the intuition, I can read what those sort of symbols mean, and they'll take it away. But occasionally, just really few times, you'll get somebody, just it doesn't matter what you kind of say to them, even though I can see the energetic body cleared, but for some reason they just won't even allow themselves. And I go back to that word allowing. If you just allow, there is so much help and opportunity for that grace to flow through. But it's really you've got to allow. And I think that could be said for both of us. We've had so much work, so many healers, so much help, but it's a point where you've got to allow for yourself. Nobody can do that for you, nobody. So I think there's a place for both, especially in my case, and I know for you too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
As far as the energy work, would you say it's a once and done thing, or do you would you say that people need to go get I don't want to call them treatments, but I'm going to call them tune-ups, go and regularly get clearings to help them, or is it a once and done?
I wish it was like a magic bullet, Tammy. My
Right?
goodness me. But unfortunately, it's not. You know, this is you're carrying lifetimes. It's not necessarily just this lifetime. And you know, if this could be like decades. Yeah, you come in for a session for one thing, and you can get relief from it, and it can solve the issue. But then you're revealing something else, and something else, and something else, and something else. You know, it's taking me like a solid like decades of working with people to get to this space. I really wish it was, you know, but that's when it cleared up so much in my head and my emotional state that you know, I can allow it in. And really, in some level, if you just allow the allowing in to begin with, then it would just be so easy. But you have to get to that clear enough crap and enough dark clouds to actually get to, because the grace is flowing all the time for everybody. But you've got to just unlayer. You know, it is that classic, you know, unlayering of an onion. The more you do, can only be beneficial. And I recently just did an Instagram video saying that, you know, you go and get your car serviced once a year, and you'll go and get your annual checkup. But then what are you doing for your own body? How are you checking in with yourself? If you're feeling crap, do you ignore it and just say, well, that's life and that's the way it is? Or do you actually then take stock? You know, so, and it accumulates. So even for us, the healer has a healer, you know, and we still
for sure.
we
Yeah.
still need to do that own work on ourselves. You know, it never stops. But now we're in a place where we can actually see a lot clearly. And then when we're actually feeling out sync, we can actually transmute that in seconds, as opposed to wallowing in it for days and days and days. So the answer to your question is, yeah, it's an ongoing journey. And you know, as much as we can do things, and as much as there are powerful healers in the world, it's going to take consistent work to be your most authentic, beautiful, loving self.
And I think to add to that, I think some people it's still woo-woo for some people, and they're afraid to, like, this is something that they're choosing to do ongoing. So just to allow yourself the grace to know that this is benefiting you. Like, I was always on board with it, but you feel so good when you're done. Like, you feel free, you feel light, and I just want everyone to be able to experience that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't. Like when we first met and where we were, it wasn't a good place.
Those were some rough days, but like the change is just amazing to me, and I want to share it with as many people as possible.
Yeah.
You do as well.
I agree. I mean, there's no way on earth I would have been doing these YouTube videos. Like, no way, just no way. But it's just like, oh my God, it's like now you get to a stage where, like, no, you want everyone to feel this happy. You want people to feel like living their best lives. You really, really do.
Mhm.
And that only clicks when you're actually in that space, right?
Yes. Um, Well, again, as usual, it is a pleasure to talk with you. I love our conversations and thank you again for joining me. And I will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Tammy. Love you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.